up, everybody? It's the Rottweiler Patriots. I'm Vegas.
And I'm T-Bone.
And we're coming at you with another video today where we're going to be doing our Week 11 Panthers recap. The Panthers fall 33-10 to the Dallas Cowboys in a game that went just about as well as expected. Cowboys defense in front got home with 7 sacks against a struggling Panthers offensive line. The offense, relatively ineffective. Bryce Young, only 123 passing yards, and which got knocked down to 77 just from those 7 sacks. So, not a great day for the Carolina Panthers. T-Bone, being the residential Carolina Panthers fans, I want to get your thoughts on this game.
Thank you. We're sucking. We just gotta hold out for next season. I don't want to do that. I don't want to look at next season and write off this season. But it's what more can we do? Bryce's. I want to say Bryce's step forward, but he really hasn't. I know he will, but he's doing a little better. He's doing a little better with what he's doing. They're at least doing stuff on fourth downs. That's something I like. I'm liking that we're doing on fourth downs. Passing yards kind of awful. kind of garbage. He's using his legs more though, which is nice, Adam Thielen's still good. So Tommy Tremble is getting touchdowns a lot, so he's being kind of a red zone threat for us. So I'm hoping we can keep him, because if there's something there, then that's cool. Frankie Louvu's still coming in clutch. Honestly, we even held them to, I think it was a 1-score game at one point, but it's just no. Let's start off with some things that we have. The good running game is not a complete bust. Miles Sanders is not a complete waste, maybe. Hoping that can be nice. From Thielen, old man Thielen, still working out well. Hoping not everyone walks in free agency. Bryce Young had an interception. He also had a touchdown, so he still has more touchdowns than interceptions. So there's some things to look forward to. He's not, because that's the thing with what he's doing right now, with the situation he's in. I expect him to be worse, and he's not. So we get some O-line together, get some other stuff, get our crap together. It'll be nice. Frank Reich has probably the hottest seat in the NFL. I don't blame that. Fully now, I can say with full confidence that and I don't want to do this. I don't want to write this guy off, but we made the wrong guy. Frank Reich will likely be fired by season's end, and that sucks because I wouldn't want that to happen. It's just it's the guy's first season. You really don't want to do that, but Tepper's not a patient man. He's acknowledged that, and I don't blame Tepper for that, but I do blame him for a lot. I think David Tepper is really what is ruining us. I think a lot of things have ruined us. Defense, offense, coaching staff, somewhat, which I still like. I still like our coaching staff, and we are together in this. But David Tepper is just a horrible owner, and it's not going to change, and that's going to suck. Someone asked me, and on social media, what does this make you feel like? What does this team and this season make you feel like? Makes me want to be a freaking billionaire and to show him how it's done, is what it makes me want to do. He's just a bad owner, and we aren't a good football team, and it's kind of sucky. I know there's a light at the end of this tunnel. I just don't know. I don't know when it is. I don't know what we've done to deserve some of this. Sometimes we're just not playing well, but honestly, hope is in the future. Hope is not in the now. We are definitely not a win now team. Vegas said it early in the season, and he's right. We're not a win now team. Seeing what we did in rushing is kind of making me happy, because if this crap is what we can do, okay, all right. This is acceptable. I just wish we would move down more because third down, we're abysmal. That's about all. We're really injured, and we're just kind of lack of morale. Um, if Frank Reich is fired, I hope that someone who is, and I won't think Frank Reich is unpassionate, but I hope someone like Wilkes is chosen because Wilkes was the guy. Wilkes was our dude. He was a guy from Charlotte. He coached with us in our Super Bowl season, and he was all about smash mouth football and just really he was a Carolina Panther through and through. I think Frank Reich sees this as a coaching, and I don't want to drag Frank Reich, but Frank Reich just sees this as coaching. Someone like Wilkes sees this as the Carolina Panthers organization, sees this as a team thing. So I am hoping that despite Tepper's lack of patience, I'm hoping that that can be used to our advantage and find some real good people and all that. Ultimately, ideally, I want Tepper gone. I want him gone. And that won't happen because he's the guy that pays all the bills. But one can hope, one can dream, one can look towards the future. That's all I have to say. I'm sorry it's a little more depressing. Vegas?
I mean, you have every right to be depressing when your team is 1-9, worst record in the NFL, and to boot, you don't even get your draft pick at number 1 overall. It goes to the Chicago Bears, who stole your best receiving threat and several other draft picks, and now you're going to be heavily compensating them for being absolutely terrible. I cannot blame you for being miserable, and really, at this point, the only thing people have left to play for the Carolina Panthers are their jobs. That's it. There's no motivation to win, and honestly, there's no motivation to lose either, because you don't have that draft pick. So, and obviously, I expect, with that being the case, I expect the Panthers to want to win, just because guys want to have jobs. Guys still want to be able to show, hey, I got it. So either they can be an attractive to someplace else, or maybe like, hey, re-sign me for more money. So that's just the reality of the Carolina Panthers this year. They are not good, and it's like you said, Steve Wilkes was the hire. He was the correct decision, which is something that I said before the year, is that I thought Wilkes should have been the guy. And that take has aged like fine wine. Fortunately, he did not become a head coach. So if you decide to fire Frank Reich, I would go to San Francisco and offer him the job immediately, if I'm being quite honest. I wouldn't even look at the other candidates. I'd just say, job is yours if you want it. Because the relative core of the squad can be worked with. Obviously, when it comes to the future, the thing that you need to address is the offensive line. That needs to be your biggest investment in the offseason for next year. Because Bryce Young cannot become an effective quarterback in this league if he's constantly running for his life, constantly just having to throw the ball away or rush into bad decisions. You're going to screw his development up if you continue to do that. And at this point, with the struggles on the offensive line, I don't know what else you can get out of him starting at this point. Because it's hard to develop a guy when he's running for his life. And if he's out there running for his life, what if he gets a serious injury and that affects him in the future? That's, I think, a conversation that needs to be had. I don't really know if anyone is actually having that conversation. But Panthers just not in a great situation. I mean, the bright spots today were on the offense were Hubbard, Sanders, and Thielen, because Thielen's just been reliable, and y'all got him locked up for 2 more years, which will be nice to have him because he's having a mini career resurgence here. And good for him. I like him. I'm happy he's doing well. Hubbard and Sanders both had probably their best games. Hubbard, 5.7 yards a carry. Sanders, 4.5 yards a carry. Those are not bad numbers in the slightest. And Frankie Louvu, one of the standout players of the year for the Panthers defense, a defense that's injured. if you look at the future of the Panthers, I don't think they're that far away from relevance again, especially considering the weakness of the NFC South. Because if the Panthers even had one more win, they'd honestly be in the NFC South race. That's just how bad it is, and there is no... It does not look like it's going to improve in the future. Unless the Falcons fire Arthur Smith, hire a competent head coach, and get almost any other quarterback besides Desmond Ridder. If they do that, then the division is theirs for the next 5 years. Don't know if they'll do that, though, because they're the Falcons. But, regardless, the division for the time being, for the foreseeable future, is wide open. And the Carolina Panthers are a team that aren't that far away from being relevant to the divisional race. For goodness sake, they almost won it last year with Tom Brady playing for the Buccaneers. You have to improve the offensive line. That's number one. I think you keep Hubbard and Sanders around for next year. I think part of the running struggles for them has been the O-line. And you see, they can put in good performances against a pretty good Dallas front. You know, like, the consistency has been an issue. The offensive line play hurts. That the offensive line play is a big reason that the offense is tanking right now. You have to fix that. That's number one in the offseason. Defense, I think you got to build a little more. But you also just... Guys just can't get injured. Like, that just sucks for them that they have so many important players out here getting hurt. Brian Burns is a guy you have to pay. Keep him around. You need that kind of game-changing player, you know? So, obviously, the season for the Panthers has been disaster. I do think that they're closer to being a good team than a lot of people think, and that's just the thing with the NFL. The margin of error in this league is so slim. And quite frankly, the difference between the best teams in the league and the worst teams in the league is not a lot. If it were, the phrase "any given Sunday" wouldn't exist. And that's just the reality of football. Good teams sometimes lose a lot of games. Are the Panthers a good team? No, they have several fundamental flaws that are a big reason why they're down here. Are they far away from being a good team, though? Absolutely not. They just have to make the right off-season moves. In my opinion, I think, because you give Frank Reich another year. Because, again, it's hard to win games. One, with a schedule as difficult as y'all's, and two, when your whole defense is hurt. I think Frank Reich should get at least one more year. You talked about, you know, David Tepper and not being patient and whatever. Who are the two owners in the NFL who are universally agreed to be the best owners in the league?
Don't make me say it.
Robert Kraft and the Rooney family. Patriots, Steelers. How many Super Bowls do each of those franchises have?
Kill me.
6. Who are the two longest tenured head coaches in the NFL right now?
I crave death.
Bill Belichick and Mike Tomlin. Patience isn't always a bad thing. Now, was Tepper too patient with Matt Rule? Absolutely. But I think you need to show a little bit more patience with Frank Reich before you cut him. Has he been great so far? No. Would I much rather Steve Wilkes be the head coach of the Carolina Panthers? Yes. But there is a fine line between being patient and being hasty. My favorite English soccer club, Chelsea, is doing really bad right now because they got a new owner due to a whole situation. The owner was a Russian oligarch, and after the Ukraine war was forced to sell the club. And an American guy bought it. I think owns part of the ownership group for the Dodgers. And he fired our coach very impulsively. And that is a decision that has destroyed the club. Because we literally had won the Club World Cup, which meant we were the best club in the world, the top of the world, not months before he was fired. And he got fired after one loss against a good team. in which the team just didn't have their best performance, which happens. So, is Frank Reich on the hot seat? I definitely, to a degree, yes. But does that mean we can't be at least a little patient and unimpulsive? Yeah. Like, right? I think Reich gets another year. If after next year things stay the same, especially if the squad improves, then Reich out the door. If Wilkes is available, he's the first guy I'm offering the job to. After that, I don't know. There are a lot of honestly good-looking upcoming coordinators who could become head coaches. I don't know. But those are kind of my thoughts on the Panthers at the moment. T-Bone, you got anything else to add before we wrap this one up?
It's not just me saying it. It's been reported that Frank Reich has the hottest seat in the NFL. As in it is being talked about actively amidst the front office of what to do with him.
It honestly would not surprise me at all.
So, but yeah, that's it. Wish we could Snyder Tepper, but that's not going to happen.
Nope. Unfortunately not. Please be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. We would love to hear what you all have to say. And that is going to do it for us today. Thank you all so very much for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button. Please be sure to subscribe. And we will see you all in the next video.